the news that hit the timeline Thursday evening. Baylor offensive tackle transfer Micah Mazuka tweeted that he himself thanked Billy Napier and the coaching staff, but that he would be transferring from the University of Florida once the transfer portal opened on Friday. By Friday morning, that tweet had been deleted. He is still with the program. He does have an undisclosed injury and has missed practice. But Nick, can you give us any purview into that situation?
Yeah, I think talking to some people at Baylor, he had been a kid who had talked about transferring and obviously ultimately did. I think he got hurt at practice. He has a shoulder injury, and whatever happened, I think maybe he thought, shoot, I don't like what's happening with my shoulder. Maybe I can go somewhere else, get a different opinion, and not have to get surgery. I think it was just a kid. And listen, he's been in college for 3 years, but he's still a young man making a rash decision. He sent the tweet, and I don't think everyone was even out of the showers yet after practice when the tweet was sent. We walked out after media that night, and I saw him just sitting there. I was like, oh, that's weird. He wasn't at practice, but here he is. And by the time I wasn't even home before the tweet was sent, so I know he was still on campus. It's interesting, and there's no way to spin it. Like if he does leave, that's your second best offensive lineman. I'll give the best offensive lineman crown to Austin Barber. He continues to look great, and I think he's going to be a really, really good left tackle for Florida next season. But after him, I think that's your second best offensive lineman, and losing him, Jake Slaughter is a guy. They just have guys who have been at Florida for 3 years, 4 years, and haven't really played. Riley Simmons would be a guy that could slide in there. Maybe Cam Waits. You have to obviously see what he's going to look like when he gets back from Achilles injury and surgery there. So I think the option number one is getting Micah Mazuka to stay. Option two would be going back to the portal. And option three, you've got some guys who have been around, and hopefully, they take the next step, and they haven't done anything for 3 years, but have, matured and progressed and maybe are ready to play, in 23.
They have to go to the portal anyway, in my opinion. Just
you
looking
need
at
depth.
the injury. Yeah, you need depth. Micah being injured, and you don't know if he has a setback. You don't know if he has re-injured. So you already got questions and concerns about his health. Cam Waits, his questions about his health. I think there's also Damian George, the transfer from Alabama. I think he has some health issues or concerns. So I think at this point, you got to go to the portal and bring in a couple guys. And from what I've been hearing just behind the scenes, they are going to be in the portal, and there are some names that I'm not ready to put out there yet, but there are going to be some additions, or they're going to try to bring some guys in. You just need now I'm not talking about freshmen. You need guys that just like the guys you just brought in, Damian George and Goodwin, the guys that have been on campus for a few years that can contribute right away, because our depth is very thin in the trenches. So regardless if he's coming back or not, I don't know, because I don't think it's a solidified situation now that I know of. If he's coming back or not, you got to get some bodies, a couple more bodies, in my opinion, in the trenches in the portal this next window.
Absolutely. So stay tuned. Transfer portal doesn't open for a number of weeks. I think 4 weeks from now anyway. So
April 15th.
April. Oh, I apologize.
So a little bit over 2 weeks.
Does it close May 1st, or am I just making dates up?
It's just you're
just making stuff up.
It's April 15th through the 30th. So you get a little 2 week window there.
I was off by a day, and Nick makes it seem like I was off by
you're
6 months.
You're throwing darts at a calendar in a dark room. That sounds like a John Mayer song. That's a John Mayer song.
That's ridiculous.
The Micah also, it looked insane to the fans, and it came out of left field because everybody's speaking so glowingly of him.
Yeah.
So it's just like they spoke about his leadership, him in the weight room, how fast of a learner he is, and then all of a sudden he misses a practice, and then this tweet goes out about him entering the transfer portal. So they just came out of left field. And it's a lot of things that go on. Some things get blown out of proportion, made bigger than it should be. But that did come out of left field. I was heading to bowling with the fam. Was like, what the hell just happened? And then you hear about an injury, which was more news to a lot of fans. And then he deletes the tweet. So it's all wait and see right now. We'll have more as the transfer portal window opens. We'll see if he enters. But for now, it was just a weird thing.
And for what it's worth, I was told like that night as I'm like trying to write the breaking news story and then following up after writing, hey, here's some breaking news. I was told by someone in the building, like, hey, he's not going anywhere. Like this was surprising to the coaching staff. Like the coaching staff didn't know this was coming. So I think what it was is just a kid sending off an emotional tweet and probably not knowing, not to like discount Baylor or anything, but not knowing Gator Twitter and what a tweet like that would do.
Yeah.
He thought everybody would sleep at 11 p.m., but nah, bro.
No, sir.
And I can imagine a day and age, before Twitter, that the number of people that quit their team. I mean, I can't begin to tell you how many times I almost quit my hockey team or said I was done or wasn't going to practice anymore. And I wasn't even, a college, football player, right? And dealing with the hot Gainesville weather after a tough physical practice, right? I mean, I'm sure pre-Twitter this happened a lot, but now we get the content out of it at least.
Nobody talked Dan off the cliff though. They're like, go ahead and jump, bro.
Yeah, we don't need you anymore.
You quitting hockey? We got more Dans around here.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of Dans.
Coach is like, what do you mean you quit? We asked you not to come to practice anymore. You keep showing up.
Yeah. You don't even have a jersey anymore.
Hey man, we took away your skates. What are you wearing? Are those tennis shoes?
Right.
That's ridiculous. That's just funny to think about because that's probably how it was. Let's see here.